Hi everybody, in this video I will show you about multiple input in React framework. Here I open the previous lesson or previous project and continue with another input. Now we have one input and we want to add more input. Then this input can use the same handle change function. Here I add a break line here and insert more label here to show the number of friends. For example, in the previous lesson we have the name, the person name, and now we add more property that shows the number of friends. It means that how many friends are there he or she have. So inside the label we have another input element, and this element has a type of number. It means that you can insert a number to this input not text, and the value is the same as the previous. We get this from state, and here the state will have two property. The first is number of friends and the second is the name. So we add the onChange event. The onChange event also point to the handle change function, and it is the same function or the same handle function. The key point of this lesson is that when it point to the same function, then inside the function we must check if it is this input element or the other input element to decide to show the data output. And here in the user interface we have two input, and two input have the same has point to the same event function. And how to distinguish between the function? We must define it a name of each input. We must have a name, have a separate name. Here inside the first input we have the name, your name, and the second input we have the name, number of friends. So each input element must has a separate name to be distinguished. So inside the event function we must distinguish between two name or two input element. So here I comment this code and set the state is equal to you remember that only in constructor we can set directly the state, but in another function we must use the setter function. So inside we initialize your name is a blank string, number of friend, the second property is the number of friend is also 0. The default is 0 friends, and now we redefine the we will use this to save that data depending on your input element names. So inside the handle function I call the setter, and the event.target.name is here it is the name of the input, and with the first input we have your name, and the second input we have number of friend. And I use this name for a key. I even use this name to be the property name, so I use it as a property name. So in this case we have one of two value, your name or number of friends, depending on your input name. So to use it as a property I use the bracket as here. I use inside a square bracket here, and the square bracket names that the property name is inside the square bracket, and I set the value to even.target.value is a text or the number that type into size so that type inside this. And how to change the value to save? I can change it by showing the data when user press handle submit. When user press handle submit, I will show all about our state, all the property of the state to see that it has been changed. And the first is your name. The first is property of your name, and the second is a property of number of friends, and I can use it here to remember that your name is here is the name of the first property, the first input element, and the second here is the number of friends is a property, the second property name of input of the second input, and I separate it with a comma by adding a comma to the string. So so here I can check that is this good now and refresh the code to see. When I press 1 2 3 to the name and 0 yes 20 for example and submit, oh, we have the name and the number of friends has been changed. You can change another. We do 1, okay, and I change more